Lucas chapter 24. But on the first day of the week, at early dawn, they came to the tomb, bringing the spices which they had prepared. And they found the stone rolled away from the tomb. And they entered in, and found not the body of the Lord Yeshua. And it was, while they were perplexed thereabout, behold, two men stood by them in dazzling apparel. And as they were affrighted, and bowed down their faces to the earth, they said to them, Why seek ye the living one among the dead ones? He is not here, but was raised. Remember how he spoke to you when he was yet in Galilee, saying that the Son of the Man must be delivered up into the hands of sinful men, and be crucified, and the third day rise again. And they remembered his words, and returned from the tomb, and told all these things to the 11, and to all the rest. Now they were the Magdalene Maria, and Johanna, and Maria the mother of Jacob, and the other women with them, told these things to the sent ones. And these words appeared in their sight as idle talk, and they disbelieved them. But Petro arose, and ran to the tomb, and stooping and looking in, he seeth the linen cloths by themselves. And he departed to his home, wondering at that which was become. And behold, two of them were going that very day to a village named Emmaus, which was 60 stadia from Jerusalem. And they communed with each other of all these things which had happened. And it was, while they communed and questioned together, that Yeshua himself drew near, and went with them. But their eyes were held, that they should not know him. And he said to them, What are these words which ye are tossing back and forth to each other, walking about? And they stood still, looking sad. And one of them, named Cleopas, answering, said to him, Alone thou sojournest in Jerusalem, and knew not the things having happened in it in these days? And he said to them, What things? And they said to him, The things concerning Yeshua the Nazarayo, who was a prophet mighty in deed and word before God and all the people, and how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him up to be condemned to death, and crucified him. But we hoped that it was he who should redeem Israel. But indeed also with these things, this third day passeth from when these things happened. Moreover, certain women of our company amazed us, having been early at the tomb. And when they found not his body, they came, saying that they had also seen a vision of messengers, who said that he was alive. And certain of them that were with us went to the tomb, and found it even so as the women had said, but him they saw not. And he said to them, O unmindful men, and slow of heart to believe in all that the prophets have spoken. Behooved it not the anointed to suffer these things, and to enter into his glory? And beginning from Moshe and from all the prophets, he interpreted to them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. And they drew near to the village whither they were going, and he made as though he would go further. And they constrained him, saying, Abide with us, for it is toward evening. and the day is now far spent. And he went in to abide with them. And it was, when he had reclined with them to eat, he took the bread and blessed, and breaking it, he gave to them. And their eyes were opened, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. And they said one to another, Was not our heart burning within us, while he spoke to us in the way, while he opened to us the Scriptures? And they rose up that very hour, and returned to Jerusalem, and found the 11 gathered together, and them that were with him, saying, The Lord was raised indeed, and hath appeared to Simon. And they rehearsed the things that happened in the way, and how he was known of them in the breaking of the bread. And as they spoke these things, he himself stood in the midst of them, and saith to them, Peace to you. But they were terrified and affrighted, and supposed that they beheld a spirit. And he said to them, Why are ye troubled? And for what reason do questionings arise in your heart? See my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see, for a spirit hath not flesh and bones, as ye behold me having. And when he had said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they still disbelieved for joy, and wondered, he said to them, Have ye here anything to eat? And they gave him a piece of a broiled fish. And he took it, and ate before them. And he said to them, These are my words which I spoke to you, while I was yet with you, that all things must needs be fulfilled, which are written in the law of Moshe, and the prophets, and the Psalms, concerning me. Then opened he their mind, that they might understand the Scriptures. And he said to them, Thus it is written, that the Anointed should suffer, and rise again out of dead ones the third day, and that repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name to all the nations, beginning from Jerusalem. Ye are witnesses of these things. And behold, I send forth the promise of my Father upon you. But tarry ye in the city, until ye be clothed with power from on high. And he led them out until they were over against Beth Aniyah. And he lifted up his hands and blessed them. And it was, while he blessed them, he parted from them, and was carried up into skies. And they worshipped him, and returned to Jerusalem with great joy, and were continually in the temple blessing God.